Pets Life with Gym Dog, Ireland's first pet resort by Des the Vet. Managed by vets, loved by pets. Daycare, vet care, premium pet food and grooming. Visit at petslife.ie.
Yes, indeed. And it is a Tuesday morning, the 6th of February. Des, how are you?
Yeah, great, John. Good to be here.
Did you have a good bank holiday?
I had a great bank holiday weekend. Got out on the bike and it didn't rain. And we got the dog walked and it didn't rain.
Okay.
So there's enough rain out there today making up for it.
Now, I can't let you go any further. You are a rugby nerd like myself.
I am indeed.
So you sat in on Friday night. Did you soak up all the rugby over the weekend?
No, I must admit I only saw the Ireland game and a few other things. I had to work Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
Really loved the Ireland game. I was delighted. I must say I was a little bit pessimistic in the beginning, knowing how good France were in the World Cup. I fully expected it to be a very close game, and I thought we'd be lucky to win it.
Yeah.
So I was really delighted with the result, and particularly delighted to see young guys coming through, replacing the old warriors.
Yep.
And young guys getting their chance and really stepping up to the mark. Love to see it.
Absolutely. Well, roll on, and we won't talk Grand Slam just yet. But anyway, we probably will, though the Irish are fickle people. Anyway, we're talking today about teeth. And the reason why we're talking about it is because month of February they're concentrating on teeth and dentistry within animals.
That's it. Okay, so the month of February is Dental Awareness Month.
Yeah.
In our practice at Gym Dog and Kildare Vet Surgery, we're doing dental examinations, dental checkups for free.
Okay.
For the whole month.
Okay.
So you can come in with your dog or cat, we'll have a look, we'll look at all the teeth, we'll talk to you about the teeth. If anything needs doing, we'll talk about that and price it up and so on and give you some pointers. So free dental checkups for dogs and cats for the month of February.
Okay, now I have to ask you a quick question on this because, cats and dogs don't like people going near their mouths. So how do you do that?
We usually manage to gingerly and carefully make our way towards the dog's mouth and cat's mouth and give them the body language and give them the signals, and they'll usually allow us to pull back the cheeks and have a look.
Yeah.
You'll get the odd very frightened animal. 1 in 10 will be probably too frightened and won't allow us, but hopefully they might allow the owner to open the mouth for us and we'll have a look. Now, oftentimes if they're very touchy and very shy and wary around the head and around the mouth, it's actually an indicator that they have toothache.
Yeah.
So if owners are reporting to us that their dog is very touchy around the head and mouth and won't let them lift the cheeks and look under the lips and look at the teeth and all the rest of it, chances are you'll find there's toothache there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that just kind of down to old age, or is it kind of down to diet? Is it down to just maybe not looking after the teeth initially?
Yeah, well, there's wear and tear there, the same as in the human mouth, naturally, through eating and chewing and playing with toys and all the rest of it and exploring the world with their teeth, dogs and cats in particular, throughout their lives. So you have wear and tear, but humans impact on it too in terms of the way we feed and manage our dogs and cats. So nowadays we do talk about the need to start brushing a puppy's teeth young and making a game of it so that they let you brush the teeth, and we emphasise about giving them toys to play with that will help them keep the teeth clean, and using bones and using sticks and so on, and using a hard food where there's plenty of chewing and not the soft food.
Yeah.
So that's on the management side. On the diet side, avoiding sugar. There's a fun fact, John. Paleontologists and archaeologists will tell you that the teeth can last for millions of years. Oftentimes when we're digging up ancient primates and ancient dinosaurs and all the rest of it, oftentimes the only remnants of a species or of a skeleton that's left
is the teeth.
After the teeth.
Yeah,
the teeth. So teeth can last millions of years. The enamel is amazingly hard, and yet in spite of the durability and the strength of a tooth, Here's an interesting thing to reflect on. Sugar will rot a tooth.
Right. So in those days, obviously, they didn't have any sugar, or they
That's
hadn't
right.
discovered it.
Any sugar, yeah. So your teeth will last millions of years until they're exposed to sugar.
Okay, there we go. Cut down the old sugar then, John Boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at animals generally, and you look at cats and dogs, and particularly dogs, they're more inclined to eat sweet things, aren't they?
They like it. Now, there's no need to be giving them sweet things, though, because they have less taste buds than us.
Okay.
So good, healthy food with a good smell is better for a dog and a cat. They'll actually enjoy it more if it's a nice fresh food with a good smell. It doesn't have to be sweet for them to enjoy it.
Yeah, but I know, even from my own cats and having them over the years as well, I don't ever see, if something dropped on the ground, I don't see a cat running over and eating something that's sweet on the ground. They kind of sniff it and walk away, where a dog would.
Yeah, so dogs have evolved as scavengers.
Right.
Whereas cats are not. Cats are not herd animals or pack animals. They're solitary. They're much more careful about what they eat
Right, okay.
than dogs are. Because cats are not scavengers, they're hunters.
Okay, that makes sense
So that's
as well.
the difference.
The difference is, okay.
There's a fun fact for you, or a fun question, I should say. John, do you know the origin of the phrase, never look a gift horse in the mouth?
Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Now, that is an interesting question. No, absolutely not.
Now, we're in County Kildare. I'm sure lots of horsey people listening will cop that. They'll know the origin behind that. So the reason why you never look a gift horse in the mouth, right, is because if you were given a gift of a horse...
Yeah.
Back in the old days, right?
Horse, yeah.
And you had a look in its mouth, that would be considered impolite or rude.
Okay.
Because you'd be turning your nose up at a gift.
Okay, right, so you shouldn't be checking it out.
You shouldn't be checking its mouth out.
Yeah.
The reason why horse people check out a horse's mouth is because horses' teeth wear throughout their lives. Horses are herbivores. They chew for hours every day. They chew all their lives. And you can actually tell the age of a horse very accurately from its teeth.
Okay.
There you go. So if you were looking a gift horse in the mouth, John, you'd be having a look to see what age the horse was. Right?
Yeah.
And you might be saying, hey, listen, this is an old horse. I don't want him.
Yeah. Okay, well, that makes sense as well, doesn't it? Yeah, that's
so
very good.
Horse dealers back in the days before passports and microchips, they used to try and fool each other and pawn off an old horse as a young horse.
Yeah.
And you had to be very good at looking in a horse's mouth and being able to age a horse from his dentition, to be able to say, hang on a minute, I'm looking for a nice young horse to be a racehorse or be a hunter, and this one is 12, so no, I'm not going to buy this one.
No, in case he pops his tongue.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, dogs and cats, their teeth don't age as accurately in the same way.
Okay, right, fair enough.
Because they're omnivores and they're carnivores and so on, they eat a lot of meat. But their teeth do get wear and tear, and they do deteriorate with the wrong diet and the wrong type of wear throughout their lives.
Okay, brilliant stuff indeed. Right, now a couple of questions already coming in, and it's to do with dentistry as well. A few people on, and same question, what are the basic signs that you might have a problem regarding dental disease?
Yeah, the first... Very, very obvious complaint customers come into us with their pets: smelly breath.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, halitosis as we call it.
Would that be a combination of either cat or dog, would it?
Absolutely, either or. If you notice a change in the smell of your pet's breath, the chances are there's now an issue in the mouth. Now that issue could be an abscess or a growth or an infection. Or sometimes even little things can get stuck between the back teeth, sticks and stones and bits and pieces. Because dogs explore and they chew and they throw sticks up in the air and all the rest of it, we have actually found dogs can develop suddenly a bad smell in their breath, and we'll find something lodged between the back teeth.
Right.
That's a common one. So first and foremost, we have to have a good look and see what's the underlying reason for the smelly breath. It might be dental decay. It might be a build-up of tartar and plaque, and then the recommended course of action is going to be some sedation or a mild anaesthetic. And then we use very similar equipment to the human dentists. We have the descalers and we have the drills and we have the cleaners and the sprays and all the rest of it. We have what's called a dental cart, which is a motorised piece of surgical equipment that will allow us to carry out dentistry. First clean them up, then explore, and then extract if necessary.
Okay, very good indeed. So that's the bad breath, which I think is one of the common ones as well.
It is.
What other things are we looking out for? What about kind of going to eat our food, messing around with the food, not eating the food?
Yeah, you're on the right track. So the second thing that'll be very obvious pointer, your dog or cat is becoming touchy around the head and mouth.
Okay.
And becomes wary or flinches when a member of the family goes to pat the dog or stroke them around the head or face. That's an indicator that there might be toothache. You may also see a little bit of swelling under the eye in a dog or a cat. Swelling would be an indicator of molar or dental infection.
What do you mean by under the eye? I mean, if you're looking at your dog or your cat or whatever, and you're looking for tooth problems, I mean, what type of thing under your eye are we looking at?
So their teeth go very far back in their heads, John.
Okay.
Dogs have 42 teeth.
Okay.
Humans only have 30-something, 36 I think we have. So the teeth do go very far back. They've lots of teeth there at the back for breaking bones and chewing. So that the back molars are actually quite close to the teeth. As you look at a dog's face, face. Those big back molars are actually just under the cheeks and just under the ends of the ends of the two eyes.
Okay, so obviously along that bone there, underneath the eye. So if there is any problem there as a result of toothache or infection or something, that'll cause a problem just under the eye of the bone.
It will, John.
It's like a human, really.
So that frontal bone there, the teeth roots go all the way back up into that frontal bone. Okay. So you'll have swelling and soreness and pain right across the face, coming from any problems in the upper molars.
Okay. Question here we just saw one just popping up there, which I think is relevant too. Hold on, I'm just going to click. Hi, Des. I found my dog's tooth in their cage or in their bed this morning. Should I be alarmed, says Melissa and Rosie. I don't know, I presume Rosie could be the dog, or we'll presume so. So they found the tooth in the dog's bed.
Well, if Rosie is a puppy, it's normal. So they get deciduous teeth or milk teeth, like humans. They're losing their deciduous teeth between 5 months and 7 months. Now, if it's an adult dog losing a tooth, they actually tend not to lose too many teeth by themselves. So if teeth are falling out, it's an indicator that some of the other teeth in the mouth are infected or decayed. And definitely a dental exam by a vet is required in this case.
Okay. Nicola was on. She says that she's noticed that her dog is not eating as much as before. We did notice that he had great appetite up to about a month ago, but messes around again in the bowl, doesn't seem to be eating.
Yeah, right up at the top of the category of things that you should worry about. Number one in an animal, a dog or a cat or whatever it is, if they're healthy, they'll eat.
Okay, so we've looked at kind of the symptoms to look out for. What are the things? What are the key points? The bad breath, the swellness, the pains under the eye. If they feel that they're at their eye, it could also lead to internally into their gums and whatever else. What about if we're physically looking into the mouth like a dentist would?
You'll actually see the decay.
Will you?
The build-up
of yellowness
tartar,
and the tartar.
Yellowing and browning and build-up of plaque and tartar and... realistically, your healthy dog's mouth should be pearly white. Okay,
so from the time a young animal is born, whether it's male or female, or cat or dog or whatever, how soon down the tracks are we talking about to get the first look for teeth?
Middle age.
Middle age. So they're okay for the first 5 or 6 years?
Look, your vet will have a look during the annual vaccinations, even if the dog, if your vet only sees your dog or your cat once a year, they'll nearly always have a look in the mouth. But if you have been observing good management and giving your dog or your cat a good diet and plenty to chew throughout their lives, then dental issues won't crop up. Even the build-up of plaque and tartar won't crop up until well into middle age. If you have a young dog, 2-year-old, 3-year-old dog, getting bad teeth and dirty teeth and smelly breath, then I'm afraid invariably it is a management issue. And you're going to have a chat with your vet about diet, what you're feeding your dog and why, and how to change it, how to improve it.
Okay, so let's move on from the time you've done your initial exams on the relevant animals and you see, right, now some of the animals might be serious, some mightn't be. What about dental procedures? What happened next?
Yeah, procedures. Well, we use the dental cart. We descale first. We knock off the heavy plaque and tartar, and we get the teeth nice and pearly white, and then we have a good look at the quality of the tooth. Is it solid in the animal's head, or is it a bit loose? Is the root exposed, which would be caused by a phenomenon of gum recession, so receding of the gums and root getting exposed. That's an indicator that the teeth are weak. If there's too much root exposed, we probably would have to extract that tooth.
Is this under anaesthetic, by the way?
Yes, it is, and that's a good point. We invariably always to do any significant dental work, your dog or your cat will have to be asleep.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's not fair. Pleasant.
Yeah, and it's not fair on them either.
It's not fair on them. They'll be upset. They're not going to sit quietly in the chair, as it were. It's not nice work to have done conscious. Even the last time I had a good clean up descale of my own teeth, John, my dentist in Kildare, Shane, he used a good lot of local anaesthetic around my mouth, because it's not pleasant,
Yeah.
the descaling process, and everybody's teeth, whether you're a dog or a cat or a human, the teeth are sensitive.
Okay, so are you talking about a full anaesthetic or local anaesthetic for the dogs?
Yeah, it'll be a full anaesthetic, but hopefully we're endeavouring for them to be as light under anaesthesia as possible.
Okay.
Because it's not going to take hours like a big operation would. This is probably a 40-minute to 1 hour procedure, 30-minute to 1 hour procedure.
And they go home afterwards?
And they go home afterwards, they go home the same day, go home within a few hours.
Okay. If your pet, or if any pet, has an extraction, as in a tooth removed, how long does it take for recovery?
Recovery is very quick. They'll be back eating within a couple of days.
Do you get them painkillers and stuff?
Yes, they'll go home with an antibiotic and an anti-inflammatory generally. The reason for the antibiotic, first of all, is because if you have dental infection, the reason the tooth has been extracted is probably because of decay, right? Now that decay could be root canal, could be root infection. So if you have tooth root infection, then you might have root canal infection, meaning the adjacent teeth, even if they're still okay, there might be some infection and some decay brewing in their roots.
Okay.
So you'll give antibiotics to knock the infection along the root canal, knock it on the head.
Okay, Brian was on. He said he has a 7-year-old golden retriever. He got his dental work done about 3 or 4 weeks ago back. I can't believe he's a new dog. He is so contented, happy and friendly and jumping around the place.
That's great. So he must have had toothache.
Yeah.
And he was under the weather.
Yeah.
The previous customer there mentioned, just to complete, the toothache will put them off their food.
Of course it will, yeah.
And they won't be happy. So the very first thing, any dog or cat, if they go off their food, there is something wrong. And the first place we look probably is the mouth.
Okay. And when it comes to actual, so when you do the whole procedure, looking, the cat or dog is under anaesthetic, do you do the old polishing of the teeth and all that type of job?
Yeah, we have the drill with the little brush on it. We have the drill to knock the plaque and the tartar off. We have the little diamond-headed drill bit to help with the extractions. So we have a dental cart, just as your human dentist does. There is the same level of sophistication in terms of the basic dentistry we do. What we don't do to the same extent in animals is, unless it's a really expensive show dog, we don't take on board the same type of cosmetic work that a human dentist would do. So we're not capping, we're not filling, we're not drilling in false teeth, etc. Now, in the States, dentistry has evolved to the level where they're doing this sort of cosmetic stuff.
Orthodontists for cats.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cats and dogs. I wouldn't really agree with it.
Okay.
There's no need for it. The level of dentistry I like to see done is the type of dentistry that's going to improve a pet's quality of life.
Okay, I can just see the dogs walking down Hollywood Boulevard and just...
Hollywood Boulevard with the big pearly whites.
I know,
yeah.
I can see that as well. So let's talk about your month this month. So just to recap, you're doing it. It's a free checkup for people. Are you advising people just to have a look into their animals' mouths before making a booking with yourselves?
Have a look yourself. If your pet is a little bit older than 2 or 3 years old, chances are having a look is no harm, and we'll be able to tell you if your dog's mouth is in good shape. Have a look yourself, particularly if you're noticing any halitosis or smelly breath.
Okay.
Bear in mind, dental hygiene is not just important for the pet, it's actually important for the members of the family, because if we have a build-up of nasty bugs, anaerobic bugs and anaerobic infection in a dog's mouth, there are human health risks and health issues there too. You shouldn't be inhaling the nasty bugs that your dog's smelly breath is giving off. Okay,
a couple of questions in. First of all, to Ellen Gill out in Killina. Hello to you, Ellen. She has a collie who seems to bite his tail a lot. Skin is broken around that area. Obviously, there's something going on there.
Yeah, okay, so that chasing the tail like that and nipping and biting at the tail, that's eczema or dermatitis in the tail. The very first thing is it could be fleas. That's where they tend to accumulate. Commonest place where fleas accumulate first is around the back end, around the tail head. So check out for fleas.
Yep.
If it's not that, second thing to look at is the anal glands.
Okay.
The anal glands are under the tail. Some dogs can't reach them.
So they go at the tail?
Yeah, they go at the tail, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So that's worth checking out too.
Okay.
Two possibilities there.
And of course, we always touch on it at least every week or two, because it always comes up regarding spot on and stuff like that, which you were talking about earlier to me.
Yeah, monthly flea and worm treatments.
Yeah.
The recommendation now, because of public health risks, is that domesticated dogs and cats, i.e. dogs and cats that are living in the house, should have their flea and worm treatments monthly.
Okay. My dog got 6 teeth out at Christmas, but he won't eat his dog nuts now. But I've tried different wet food because of their obvious reason. Nothing seems to agree with them. What would Des recommend? He is 13 years old mix of a terrier, says Trish.
Yeah, look at an older dog like that that's had a few teeth extracted. There's a very good chance that there's ongoing infection in the root canal, in some of the other teeth that are there. I'm afraid he may again have toothache. He may again need a few teeth extracted. If he's off his food, it's an and reluctant to eat like that, he probably has toothache again, I'm afraid.
Okay, but when you think of it in the context of 6 teeth out of 42...
It's not much.
It's not much, and
No.
it's livable and there's no problem. Or are you saying it could be a problem?
Do you know what? We often have to extract upwards of 10 and 12 teeth in very old dogs that have never had dentistry. They come in, typically this is the scenario we see almost every day. They're in for a dental checkup because the breath is suddenly smelly or they're suddenly gone off their food. And this might be an old dog who's never really had dentistry in its life before. And by the time we get to look at them when they're 12, there's usually extensive dental decay, and we might be extracting 6, 8, 10, 12 teeth for their own good, because in extracting all of these teeth, we're making sure that the ones we leave are healthy and well and solid, and the gums will heal up, and then you have a happy dog with 20 or 24 or 26 teeth left, and he'll be flying for the rest of his life and should eat great if we've gotten rid of all the bad ones. So the take-home message is we can actually remove 10 and 12 teeth from these older dogs, and they'll have enough teeth left to live and be happy and eat, and oftentimes they don't look back and live out the rest of their lives happy and healthy.
Okay, my adult cat has developed 2 small or 2 centimetre solid black bumps on the outside just under her mouth. Any ideas what could be, says Christina?
Solid black lumps, well, there could be little growths rather than dental infections. What you might have there are 2 little cysts.
Okay.
What it sounds like, I would say skin cysts, or there's no indicator from that description that it's a dental abscess or anything, although cats do get dental disease as well, the same as dogs. A word of warning on a separate note with regard to cats. Oftentimes dental disease and bad oral hygiene in cats can be an indicator of some of the nasty viruses that cats get. Now, a few of the viruses: feline leukemia virus, feline immune deficiency virus, feline caliche virus, feline flu. They'd be the 4 big things that we vaccinate against and see regularly in cats, and they're nasty viruses. These all, for some reason in cats more than dogs, you'll get bad oral hygiene, oral ulcers, gum infections linked to those viruses. So one of the things we'll do with a cat that comes in of a certain age that has a really bad mouth, we'll always run a series of tests to rule out some of the nasty viruses before we launch into dentistry. So that's on the cat side. Okay,
that's on the cat side. That's a very good point as well. Right. My Bichon Frise dog, Molly, is afraid of the house fire, sitting room. She used to sit at it all the time, but now she just heads off into her bed all the time now. What can I do to make her relax and make sure she's not afraid and stop her going to bed all the time, says Karen. Good question.
Bring the bed a little closer to the fireplace, a little closer to the furniture. Have her sit on her bed beside you in the evenings, perhaps when you're there with her. Reassure her. I wonder why she's suddenly afraid of the fireplace. Did she get a fright or a little burn or something?
Or maybe a spark from the fire or something got her, or something along those lines. It could be something as simple as that.
Yeah, good point, because they are quite noise sensitive, these little dogs.
Okay, very good. Okay, on that note, just to recap your month of February dentistry checking up.
Dental Awareness Month, free checkups on dogs and cats.
Okay, and it's very easy. Just contact Des. Give us the details there, where to contact.
KildareVet.ie or JimDog.ie.
Brilliant. Done and dusted for this week. We're back again next week, usual time, with Des, and we're looking forward to a great topic. Lots of good questions coming in from our listeners. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John.
It's a Pet's Life with Jim Dog, Ireland's first pet resort by Des the Vet. Managed by vets, loved by pets. Daycare, vet care, premium pet food and grooming. Visit at petslife.ie.